AI is actually a magnifier of all the things that we already have. Fly the plane without the autopilots first. Learn that. Like, go back to the basic. Learn your programming languages. Learn how engineering works.
You see the culture, you see the potential, you see also the lack of technology adoption, but you see also the capacity that we can move faster.
I grew up with the computers at home. Since I can remember, 11 years old, I was already programming. Good vibes, good food, and the technology you will get it as a gift.
Yes. And what are the biggest misconceptions around AI that people are having right now?
AI is not there to replace people. AI is there as a tool to support decision making and support the processes.
Welcome to this special podcast series called Tech Meets Curaçao, powered by Ngrane in collaboration with 𝐶NEX, Curaçao Investment and Export Promotion Agency. This series is recording during the Next Web conference week, and this series' goal is to bring inspired voices together to speak about creativity, innovation, AI, leadership, and the future of tech. Today's topic is AI and the future of tech, and my guests are Rigo Selassa, Adric Walter, and Juan Vicario. In a moment, I'll ask them to introduce themselves, but for this today, enjoy. Rigo, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Rigo Selassa, born on lovely island of Curaçao, and I'm a proud founder of an industry innovation lab for AI, focuses on utilities, where we try to bring some academical research together with practical implementations in island of Curaçao.
Thank you. Adric?
My name is Adric Walter. I run a boutique consultancy called Walterians, and aside I have this beautiful passion project called Curaçao Tech Meetup, which is Curaçao leading conference, bringing the good vibes and mixed with a good fusion of technology. And we love to bring people together.
Perfect, thank you. Juan?
Yes, thank you. My name is Juan Vicario. I'm currently part of the quality team at 𝐭𝐈𝐍𝐿. We are an independent consultancy regarding privacy, cybersecurity, network consulting, IT architecture, and we have offices based in Rotterdam and also in Curaçao.
Perfect, thank you. So the first question is, what's your connection with AI? What's your connection with tech?
Yeah, for me, it's very simple. I'm a technology management engineer. I graduated as a technology management engineer in 2006, and my graduation project was related to information analyst. So at that moment, I came in contact with technologies and also data. And as from my graduation, I was working in digital transformation globally in different sectors. So I have very strong experience in digital transformation. And technology is the basis for that. The last 20 years, I see the evolution from ERP to cloud to where we are now in AI. So for me, the connection is very strong. So from the background, from the study, but also from my experience professionally.
Perfect.
Well, as long as I can remember, my mother used to work for IBM, so I grew up with the computers at home. Since I can remember, 11 years old, I was already programming. So it was a logical step for me to study computer science, and out of that also came a beautiful conference which we have right now, bringing people together to continue sharing the passion and the love for what we do, and to bring Curaçao to the next level and be an inspiration for the world.
Yes, from a background of healthcare, I was introduced to the GDPR around 2016, and since then I fell in love with the profession. I thought to myself I have to pursue further studies, so I did a business degree and also some privacy certification on a global level. And since 2017, I started as a privacy professional, working also globally with multinationals around the globe regarding the topics of privacy and data protection. Basically, how companies manage personal information within their systems. And since that was my passion to, so to speak, to jump of the healthcare sector to the tech world.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. We'll be coming back for the privacy section for sure. So how does your background from Curacao help in this view on technology? Because we're all from Curacao here, and that might have influenced also a little bit this road we're going into.
And maybe I can add because what you see after my study, like I just mentioned, I started working in the Netherlands and working with Deloitte as an international company doing a lot of global transformations. And I was lucky in 2016 to be asked to participate as a project manager at Agro-Electra to work for an ERP transformation project. And then you get the involvements on the island, and then you start seeing the things that you don't experience in Europe, right? So you see the culture, you see the potential, you see also the lack of technology adoption, but you see also the capacity that we can move faster. So as a project manager, I was able to apply my inspirational leadership, but also focus on the cultural level to get the people with me. And I think that's an experience that I get as an island kid, that you really see the culture, you see the people, because technology is not about technology itself, right? It's about how people is using it, how people is adopting it. And I think that's bringing me where I am now as a person, because bridging the gap, understanding what are the constraints that people need to accept. You need to explain things better. People need to understand the thing, trust the things. And that's what I experienced to bridge that thing where we are now. So I think that's one thing that is giving that additional perspective that maybe people that was born in Curacao don't have, maybe.
Yeah, I would like to add on that. We come from a relatively small geographical area, but still we have the big countries, things that we need to run, like the electricity, the water, the airport, the hospital. Things need to run, and also there is what we call this specific island type of management. We need to manage the heat every day. The heat is affecting a lot of things, and therefore the technological side of things is also different, because it requires different types of approach. You might experience scarcity because we are only connected through the air or through sea. There's not like a truck driving and coming with resources. So there's a different way to manage, and also you need to think ahead of things, right? And just like Rigo said, the island people use the technology in a totally different ways. Like when I look at my clients, we are in the cloud, but then we think, for example, in an island context of how can I keep the business continuity, whilst in Europe we are more like, okay, which workloads are we going to migrate, etc. So it's a totally different type of experience that we observe over there.
Yeah. For me, the diaspora of the profession or professionals, that's more important. I have traveled a great part of the world, and meeting local island people from Curaçao, Aruba, Bass Islands, all over the world. And what inspired me most is that all those peoples are interested to bring back something to the islands. For example, this whole room filled with these professionals together. We are working internationally, but we are tied, our roots are tied back to the island, and want to bring that same level of professionalism internationally back to the islands. So for me, that is important, that we have those bridges installed, and we can lay the way so future professionals can also have a way back home to bring those expertise.
So great. And how does AI influence the future or the development of Curacao? And of course, also the people here that have roots from Curacao. How does AI play in all this?
Yeah, I can comment on that, because we have an innovation lab for AI called Illustre, and our focus is to do research from Netherlands, but we try to apply and test the things on Curacao. So you also stimulate the adoption of AI. But what you see is that in Curacao, we need to also educate our leaders. So the decision makers, they need to understand also what are the opportunities AI is bringing, because AI is not there to replace people, but AI is there as a tool to support decision making, support the processes. So what you see is that we don't understand very well yet as persons what AI is bringing, because we have different type of AIs, different models of AIs. So I think in that sense, education becomes very important to educate the different layers of the community. They understand AI, and I think we have the chance, because I'm comparing Curacao sometimes also with some other areas in the world, where we can take a loop and move very fast, because we don't need to take baby steps. We can go directly to an AI solution without the need to change whole procedure or whole processes that are there for 20, 30 years. So I see some potential there to help innovate and facilitate the transformation.
And what are the biggest misconceptions around AI that people are having right now?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is that people think that AI is a black box. So something come in, something go out, and you don't understand what's happening in the black box. But from my perspective, everything we do in algorithms that are supported by AI are explainable. Okay. And we are trying to make things explainable, use human-centric, because you need to be able to audit things. So I get the result, I need to be able to validate the result. So I think that much interpretation that it is a black box is not true. And what I just mentioned, by explaining things, people start understanding and start accepting. So people think, okay, it will replace me, if I will lose my job. That's also not true. So that's also, I think, those two important things that I see in the perspective in terms of misinterpretation of
misunderstanding regarding
that. From my perception of governance, risk, and compliance, our organization should take more approach on how they're using the information and loading this information to the AI systems. We have to be aware that processing information can be dangerous, especially in bigger markets internationally, especially US, EU, and other markets that has really strained privacy regulations and AI regulations also. So from that perspective, it's very good, as Rigo has mentioned, education. They not only organization, but people working in these organizations need to know the risk about feeding information to this system. Not only personal information, but also intellectual property of the organization itself. Because the risk of making this information available to the public can bring financial risk and also damage to the brands.
But is that something that companies can prevent in general, because their employees might still want to use AI and then basically still apply that?
It's something about the organization's management team itself, how open they are to adopt certain things as the use of AI, but most importantly, when you're positioning yourself as a company to adopt certain changes, you have to do that properly and has to put the right policies in place. And sometimes when we use the word, you have to use policies, people think it's something very complicated, but it's just a basic thing that what can you and what can you not do with certain processes within your organizations. So take into concept that basic principle is enough. Let's put it in a simple context now, that you can really easily adopt the use of AI within your organization without need to make things very complicated. Yeah.
So one of the things that might be interesting is how to stimulate the tech and AI involvement of the youth of Curacao. You just mentioned education. What advice would each of you give to the young Curacao person living in Curacao or living here to have a future in tech or AI?
Well, I want to say something. Actually, I want to go one step back, because AI is actually a magnifier of all the things that we already have. All the challenges, all the things that we still need to solve. When we take things a step back, is that the challenges that we have can already or should have already been solved with the conventional technology we already have.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, like I think it's more on a mindset level and our attitude to how we deal with our challenges. Like AI is not the thing that's going to come and solve things. It's just going to magnify what we have. So all the challenges that we are seeing right now, I rather would say use the AI to unblock the misconceptions and the blocking beliefs we have to move forward in things. All the things that are actually stopping us from going forward. Okay? So when we talk about the youth, there are still a lot of data trapped in organizations, or the data that should already be democratized is not yet. So my advice is there is this mono-context protocol that's coming right now, because you're gonna have a lot of agents working together, but no agent can work if the data is still trapped somewhere, or we cannot do the integration. What I wish to see is that our younger generation is gonna think from the island perspective and build something that can be used on a global scale by solving the things locally and then scale it up globally and share it to the other things. Unless we unblock. We need to unblock what we're having, because most of the advancements are not because we don't know the technology, maybe a little bit, but it's more on the mindset level. How is our own attitude and readiness to solve things and have the courage and the persistency and the focus to break through the invisible walls that we are actually seeing. Now with the AI, with all respect, I'm going to say we are becoming lazy. So what I'm saying is fly the plane without the autopilot first. Learn that. Like, go back to the basic. Learn your programming languages. Learn how engineering works. Not only computer engineering, but also electrical engineering and all the types of other engineering, but also the mindset engineering to propagate and scale things to the world. So this is where we need to have our youth start to think, and yeah, we're leaders. We need to maybe reinvent the school system, for example, to be prepared for. But I think that's a different rabbit hole. That
I'm happy you saying that, Adric, because what we see now in the whole preparation for the Innovation Lab is that we have a responsibility from the Innovation Lab also to make sure that we educate and also we make things adoptable, and that we have the social impact. And what you see is that indeed the organizations have a kind of boundary, that they have still the old-fashioned way of managing the business. And you see that new generation is coming now. They are taught already to use technology. They work with we have a lot of nice, good data scientists coming out with very good passion and ambition. But when, like you mentioned, they go to the organization, they don't feel that they can do the work that they want to do, because the organization is blocking them with a lot of restrictions. They cannot get the data. They cannot do so. You see that you come out of school with a lot of passion, with a lot of energy to do things, and you be blocked. And then what happened, even in Netherlands, that people then start job hopping, because they want to find a place where they can do the things they like. And that's the discussion I have also with some of my clients also, because you need to prepare also. If you want transformation, you need to make the environment also a happy environment where people really feel like, okay, I'm doing the job I like and I can make the difference. And that's not happening at all. So we have, I think, a lot of nice studies helping people to become more technology. I see a lot of women going also in the technology area. But when you go at work in all the big institutions, at the government, at the utility companies, they are kind of very old-fashioned, complaints based and focusing on keeping everything closed.
I might also add, it's not only that they keep it close, but they also silo. So, for example, you find this sector of government entities only working individually on the sector on their organization itself, the financial sector on itself. So, if a collaboration to interconnect these types of collaboration, it can definitely help evolve the ecosystem of.
This is exactly what I was mentioning with the mindset.
Yeah, for the mindset.
This is like, all the issues we have could have already been solved with the conventional technology, right? What you're going to see is that you're going to have these agentic businesses that the AI is going to create their own business. So what are we going to do with a chamber of commerce and people registering themselves while these things were going to be running autonomous as a service on its own? So these are the things that we need to start to think about right now.
How quickly will we get there? We know that AI things are moving very quickly. How quickly does the youth, or not even the youth, the current employees, the current people on not only the islands but globally, need to be aware of these changes and basically prepare for it?
I think just today to give you an example, we focus it with Illusion. We focus on power automation and optimization algorithms, and we use autonomous AI agents that you have different AI agents that can work very autonomous without minimal interaction of people. So we profile a customer. We forecast this consumption. We give a recommendation about this.
They work together.
They work together. So the data come in and you pass the results to the different AI agents. Yeah. In terms of mindset, all the data science students or business analysts coming from the universities, they understand that. Yeah. They want to do those kind of things. But if you go to an organization, if you go to the organization and you look to the current procedures and the current policies, it's not working like that. So you have the resources, good talent coming in, the technology is there already, but the decision making and the policy creation is not there. And I'm comparing a lot of time with Uber. When Uber came, the governments were not ready for that. We have the strike in France, we have all those things in California because the policy was not there. But the technology was faster and the market reacted on that, where we get that movement going.
Actually, the technology forced the change and adoption of it.
Yeah, and it's not happening in all the market, but that will happen now. That's why I'm saying just today then because the technology is there.
It's already there.
But the market are blocked of the market are not ready to move in the side direction. It is government policy or institutional policies. So a lot of things going on in that sense. So I'm seeing that movement and I still have the passion and the ambition. So it is a challenge for us also as leaders. How can we convince the decision makers to take the step in certain areas that they don't know where they are going? And that's also.
Well, the convincing is going to come either like with an act, right? The change is going to come as an outside force and break it, or it's going to come from the inside. Right. Yeah. And from there you're going to create something beautiful.
Well, gentlemen, we're getting at the end of this podcast episode already. I already noticed we can speak for hours together, so that's amazing. If you have any final words for all the audience watching this, any advice, any recommendations, please share with us, and then we'll wrap it up after that. So, if you have any final words.
Yeah, for me it was very excited to have this conversation because we understand each other also, and we try to reflect it to the Curaçao Island where we discuss the challenges. And my takeaway is that indeed we are going in the right direction, and we still need to emphasize in the inspiration and in the helping people understand to go the right direction. Excited to be here today.
Thank you.
Also very excited, and in terms of we can sit with us and discuss. I have created a platform called Tech Meetups. Come, because I don't want to have the conversation only with us techies but the
general public.
General public should come and subscribe. We created a great environment to have bom ambiente, like we say, good vibes, good food, and the technology you will get it as a gift from us. And thank you so much for having this opportunity. Let's continue documenting ourselves and bringing over our message, because there's a lot of guys like my two friends over here.
Yes. No, well, I'm also happy to be here. I'm also happy to collaborating with the whole project. I'm always pro public-private partnerships between organization, and this is a current example by bringing people from different perspective and professionals together. So for me, let's keep it up, and let's lead the way also for future professionals coming.
lead the way.
To lead the way, yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. The links to these gentlemen will be in the description below also. And make sure to comment, leave a like, and make sure to watch the next one. Thank you.